This is a video me and my classmates worked on. Its goal was to advertise the presence of the Pima Film Club, now known as the Silver Screen Club. Today, we'll go over the steps taken to create this video, what mistakes I made as the director, and perhaps stumble across a lesson or two along the way. Part 1. Pre-production. Preparation began with an idea from Eileen, seen here. Her idea was to reference, or lightly parody, the famous Fincher film Fight Club, and so a script was written to accomplish this. The story was inspired by the angel scenes of the movie, and the cast consisted of whoever responded to my text to help out. To prepare, I did research on Fincher's style and learned of his use of blocking, camera, and aversion to the color red. After a few revisions with Eileen, who was slotted to be both the lead actor, portraying our Tyler Durden character, and our cinematographer, it was time to create a shot sheet and tell our actors and cast to meet us in an appropriately depressing place, the Park Place Mall parking garage. Don't forget to bring a camera and wear black. Part 2. Production. Our first task was to get the footage we needed of Aaron, seen here. This was because he had to leave soon, so we wanted to get all his shots out of the way. And so we set up the shot, making use of nearby discarded decorations. His role was to react to the fight, which we would film later, and as a general rule, I asked him to tone down his reactions, as I felt like taking a somewhat absurd premise serious would make it funnier. After Aaron was cleared, we worked on getting a tracking shot of Eileen walking up to the film club meeting. To do this, we used a wheelchair, often utilized in French New Wave films and my grandmother's retirement home, which is where I borrowed mine from, as unlike Fincher, I do not have access to an oval-shaped dolly track, which is fine since I don't think it would fit into my grandmother's Honda Civic anyhow. Now this shot was tricky, but we got better, so we should have been able to get... What's that? Oh, we can't film here? Oh. Okay. Thankfully, Eileen knew of a similar parking lot near our local U of A campus, next to a sports arena where a football game was being played. Once there, I moved on to the next shot of Eileen walking up to the group. For the shot, I wanted to make use of a gray wire I found in the parking garage, since Fincher often makes use of things like fences in order to emphasize the grittiness and ugliness of his film. We also utilized a few fun rack focuses in order to show the emphasis moving from one character to another character. Although, I wasn't perfect with the focus. As you can see, here I was focused on Eileen's jacket instead of her eyes. But regardless, we were doing good productive work, and nothing could... What's that sound? Just then, the gates to the massive modern Coliseum stretched open, and thousands of college kids descended upon our poor parking place, looking for their cars and muddling our shots with what Fincher would describe as visual distractions. This caused some amount of calamity. However, I tried to keep a calm head and suggested we use this time in order to block out, learn, and practice the fight choreography. Now, in order to make sure this process was safe, we made sure that the moves were learned at half speed, and that even if punches were at full strengths, their targets would be too far away to actually be hit. Now, to hide this obvious fakeness, we filmed over the shoulders, here and here. And as you can see, no one was actually hit. Oh, well, that was a joke. Well, our actor Elvio Anderson expressed a willingness to fall over, and as he told us, he was ready to commit. To capture this, we relied on mostly natural light, or I suppose unnatural fluorescent parking garage light. I also brought a small LED, which you can see here. It was meant to simulate a car's headlight. After that, our only major stunt was to simulate blood splashing onto the face of our other lead actor, Arlena, seen here. To do this, we had our art department and resident blood splasher, Alicia, flick the Party City blood I purchased. And that was it. Now, it was time to edit. Part 3. Post-production. My first step was to achieve picture lock. Nothing too much to note, although I did add in some cross-cutting in the beginning to add tension to when Eileen walks up, and also made good use of reaction shots we got of our actors, including Aaron. Speaking of, Aaron's footage did not look like this. It looked like this. In order to remedy this issue, color correction was involved. Now, I was using DaVinci Resolve, which is commonly cited as being great software for color correction. However, since I'd not done much of it before, and I was kind of tired, I tried to do it with the custom curves when I could have just used the color wheels. They're sitting right there, for good. Either way, it seemed to work, as did blending the first day of footage with the second day. Oh yeah, did you notice that? We had to schedule a second day of filming because of the film load. It featured a different camera and a different camera lens. although thankfully they were both Sonys, which made it easier to blend. After adding in some music and doing my best to reduce the room tone, it was time to let people see the movie. Part 4. Lessons. As I mentioned before, this project required an unanticipated second day of filming. This was in part due to me not knowing how much time each shot would take, but it was also due to me not clearing or scouting or knowing locations adequately beforehand, requiring us to change locations and have more bonding time overall. Other than that, I think that emulating another director's style was a good exercise. It helped me pay attention to things I might not normally, such as the use of color, whether that's in logos, costumes, or the sink at a local Circle K where your resident blood splasher has to rinse the fake blood off her hands. Well, that's it for today, friends. I hope you found this enjoyable. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. Until then, I'll see you at Fight Club.